Direct Hassan. Today tunapitia about light. What is light? Yeah, so as a filmmaker, I'm as a photographer, you need to understand light. Light is so important for your work. Light is so important because utapata sharp image, utapata clean video because of good light, right? Because kama you don't have enough lights, either photography ama videography, your image is with a lot of noise. Your video itakuwa pia na noise, itakuwa clear. So light is so important for your work. Either you're a filmmaker or you're a videographer, you need light in your work. So today to tackle a little bit of photography, light, and then light in videography. So first thing you need to understand, kabla ukuje ujue about light, how to balance light in your work, either you're a photographer or a videographer or a filmmaker, you need to understand your camera. And the reason why I'm saying you need to understand your camera like this one, there's something we call exposure triangle. So exposure triangle contain ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. So those three elements control light. ISO is a sensitivity of your camera, and then kuna shutter speed, and then tuna aperture. You need to understand those three elements in your camera. Ndio ukianza kuwa na external lights, you're good to go. So you need to balance external light na lights kwa how lighting, the amount of light inaingia kwa camera. To adjust it, the exposure triangle, make sure that you understand exposure triangle, because without understanding exposure triangle, itakuwa very difficult for you to understand, to balance your light. So you need to understand the exposure triangle. For you, if you don't understand the exposure triangle in your camera, itakuwa very hard to balance your light, to balance the amount of light ile inaingia kwa camera. So I have a tutorial of exposure triangle. Go and watch it to understand more about exposure triangle. Three elements: ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. Right? So we should understand the exposure triangle. So we have like videography, we have type of lights, and then photography also. So for photography, if you don't have lights, like don't have speed light like this one, you can use natural lights. Maybe unafanya you are shooting outside, you can use a natural light. Ama ni kwa dark room somehow, iko dark. If you don't have speed light, then maybe una shoot kwa dark room, you can use the inbuilt flash. So every camera iko na inbuilt flash. So but sometimes room inaweza kuwa giza, so inbuilt flash haita compensate that amount of light, external light unafaa kwa your camera. So something the beginner wanafanya ni ku increase the ISO. So sometimes yes, you can increase the ISO to compensate the light ile inaingia kwa camera, because the room maybe iko dark, hauoni vizuri. So most of guys want to increase the ISO. So the problem of increasing the ISO in your camera, inakuwa na somehow noisy. The image is inakuwa noisy ama the video inakuwa noisy because there's a low light. So anytime kuna low light kwa your footage ama kwa your room, any place unafanya videography or have photography, your image ama video itakuwa na noise. So that noise, yes, some noise unaweza zitoa kwa Premiere Pro ama unaweza zitoa kwa After Effects, but that is hiyo ni hard work unajipea kwa post production. So anytime given, kama unafanya shooting, make sure that everything iko poa, light is iko poa, sound iko poa, because in post production kama sound kuna maybe electronic noise, unakuta ita take more time when you're editing your footage ama image. So make sure that yes, you can compensate the light kwa ISO ama increase maybe a shutter speed ama aperture, but my point is make sure that understand those three elements. And then kama hauna external lights, you can use natural lights. Maybe it's a window, like for now I'm using sijawasha any lights, but I'm using my lights. I have two windows, iko hapa mbele yangu na the back kuna light net kwa window, so I'm using those two. So it's not a must we have lights. Maybe kama haujabuy, maybe utabuy later, you can use natural lights for your work. Maybe outside you don't need lights, you can use natural lights. But outside now, kama unatumia natural lights, make sure that you understand the exposure triangle so that unaweza balance the light ya natural light na how the light inaingia kwa your camera. So that's it for photography. Make sure that you understand the exposure triangle. Make sure that if you need to take your work to another level, make sure you have a speed light, and then buy another maybe softbox. So softbox, I usually mount this speed light nyuma ya softbox, and then I'm using my trigger, this one. So I'm using my trigger to flash my subject. Other thing is you can buy this this diffuser. So diffuser iko na type of color inside it. So maybe uko na shoot nje, you can use this. This is so good for the guys who nataka. This is a diffuser. You have different type of colors here. So this is a diffuser. Maybe it's a photography. Unapiga, you can just shikilia kwa your subject. When light inapiga ina bounce here, and then inaenda kwa your subject. So make sure that maybe kuna this diffuser. Tukona white, we have golden, and then you gonna almost 5 different colors. You can use it. So that's it for photography. Make sure that you have speed light, you gonna softbox, na kama huna, you can use natural light.